Praise song for the day. Each day we go about our business, walking past each other, catching each other's eyes or not, about to speak or speaking. All about us is noise, all about us is noise and bramble, thorn and din, each one of our ancestors on our tongues. Someone is stitching up a hem, darning a hole in a uniform, patching a tire, repairing the things in need of repair. Someone is trying to make music somewhere, with a pair of wooden spoons on an oil drum, with cello, boombox, harmonica, voice. A woman and her son wait for the bus. A farmer considers the changing sky. A teacher says, "Take out your pencils, begin." We encounter each other in words, words spiny or smooth, whispered or declaimed, words to consider, reconsider. The story that endlessly eludes the decorum of the press is the death of a generation of gay men. What is written here is only one man's passing and one man's cry, a warrior burying a warrior. May it fuel the fire of those on the front lines who mean to prevail and of their friends who stand in the fire with them. We will not be bowed down or erased by this. I learned too well what it means to be a people, learned in the joy of my best friend what all the meaningless pain and horror cannot take away, that all there is love. Pity us not. Stokely and Adam. Stokely says now, Adam says soon. Stokely says straight ahead, Adam says to the side. Stokely says black power, Adam says power. Stokely says global, Adam says Harlem is the center of the world. Stokely, sweet potatoes, Adam, sweet potato pie. Adam, don't buy where you can't work. Stokely, freedom ride. Stokely says, yeah. Adam says, yeah. Adam says, preach. Stokely says, talk. Agitate, agitate, agitate. Adam says, inside the system. Stokely says, the system will bite you in the ass. Adam says, you think I don't know that? Adam says, even inside is outside. Adam and Stokely. Us black folks got to stick together. Stokely. We had only the old language of love and suffering. Adam, keep the faith, baby. 1 week later in the strange. 1 week later, in the strange exhilaration after Lucille's death, our eyes were bright as we received instructions, lined up with all we were supposed to do. Now seers, now grace notes, now anchors, now tellers, now keepers and spreaders, now wide open arms. The cold wind of generational shift blew all around us, stinging our cheeks, awakening us to the open space, now everywhere surrounding. So I was asked to write a Twitter poem. Now I don't have a Twitter account. I don't know from Twitter at all. But some poets were commissioned to write a Twitter poem. Did you write one of those Twitter poems? And so now I know it's 140 characters, and it had to be right, fit to character. And it was actually the most wonderful exercise because it was like a new little form. And like a form that hadn't existed before, but was really no different from so many other forms because it had its rules and regulations, and you had to make something interesting happen within that. So I think that's it. And actually, I've written some more Twitter poems, though I do not have the capacity to tweet them. So I think that's just to say that there are always different, if you're alert, there are always different ways to, move forward with technology and poetry. Yeah, I probably won't remember, but it's called Teeny Tiny Poem. I'll see if I can remember. Teeny tiny poem, just big enough to hold. Okay, wait. Teeny tiny poem, just big enough to hold one excellent big word, impluvium. And then it said some more things, and then the last word was tweet. It was an exquisite little thing. It really was, and it was the first time I'd used the word impluvium, and that was very satisfying as well. So try it at home. Hello.
Hello, I'd just like to hear you talk about your writing process a little bit. I know for many of us it's tedious and burdensome, and find it encouraging to hear how successful writers like yourself get through it.
Yeah, well, the it is not one thing. So part of the it is just trying to keep track of words when they come in the midst of the other things that you have to do during the day. No poet supports him or herself with poems alone. Just doesn't happen. So everyone, that is to say, has a day job of some kind. So you're always doing something else. And in the midst of that something else, you can always keep track, make notes, keep a notebook, don't lose things. You know, pull the car over and write the line down before it slips away. And eventually that pile of stuff grows so that when you're able to set aside writing time, you've got something to begin with. I think also for young people, you do have time. So you can take time not only with your writing, but also with your reading. And you know, again, this is sort of picking up on a theme, but to take the time to read as widely as you can, as many different writers as you can. You don't know what kind of writer you're going to become. And the only way you'll find that out is by trying on a whole lot of different hats for size and seeing how you look in them and seeing what you want to do with them. That's really, really important too. And then finally, and this is the tough love part, not everyone gets to be an artist. Not everyone's supposed to be a poet. In other words, it's hard, strange work. And you know, if you're not called to do it, you can do other things with, you know, that love of poetry, that love of, if it's self-expression, that love of language. In other words, I think that sometimes people think that it's about a career in poetry rather than it's about what is your devotion to process and why must you? Why must you? And if that is answered, you can answer that, then nothing will keep you from doing it.